What if everything you've been told about hell is wrong? Not wrong in the way skeptics say, not hell doesn't exist, but wrong in a way that might actually shock you more. Because the Bible's version of hell is far stranger, far more serious, and far more personal than the cartoon image most Christians carry in their heads. Fire and pitchforks? That's not in the Bible. A place under the earth where sinners go immediately when they die. Also not in the Bible. The word hell appearing throughout the Old Testament. It doesn't. By the end of this video, you'll understand what Jesus actually said about hell, and why it changes everything about how you live right now. Here's the first thing that will surprise you. The word hell in your English Bible is actually a translation of 4 completely different words, and each one means something different. The first is Sheol, a Hebrew word that appears 65 times in the Old Testament. It doesn't mean a place of punishment. It simply means the realm of the dead, where everyone went after death, the righteous and the wicked alike. Even King David says he will go to Sheol. The second is Hades, the Greek equivalent of Sheol in the New Testament, the place of the dead before the final judgment. Not the final hell, just the waiting place. The third is Tartarus. This word appears exactly once in the entire Bible, in 2 Peter chapter 2, and it refers exclusively to fallen angels. It has nothing to do with human beings. And the fourth, this is the one that matters most, is Gehenna. This is the word Jesus uses when he talks about judgment 11 times, and it's the most misunderstood word in the entire New Testament. Now here's where it gets truly shocking. Gehenna was a real place, a physical valley just outside Jerusalem, the Valley of Hinnom. In the Old Testament, this was where Israelites burned their children alive as sacrifices to the god Moloch. God called it a place of abomination. By the time of Jesus, it had become Jerusalem's garbage dump, a place that burned constantly, where the bodies of criminals were thrown, where fire never went out. So when Jesus says, "Throw them into Gehenna," his audience knew exactly what he meant. Not a cartoon underworld. A place of complete destruction, total rejection, the ultimate garbage dump of existence. And listen to what Jesus actually says about it in Matthew chapter 10. "Do not fear those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul. Rather fear him who can destroy both soul and body in Gehenna." Destroy, not torture forever. The Greek word is Apolumi, and it means complete destruction, annihilation. This is one of the most debated verses in all of Christian theology, and most people have never even heard the debate. Here's something else most Christians don't know. There is no single, unified Christian view of hell. There are 3 major positions, all held by serious Bible-believing theologians throughout history. The first is eternal conscious torment, the traditional view. The souls of the damned experience conscious suffering forever. This is the dominant view in Catholic and many Protestant traditions, based largely on Revelation 14 and Matthew 25. The second is Annihilationism, also called Conditional Immortality. The wicked are ultimately destroyed. They cease to exist rather than suffering forever. This view was held by theologian John Stott and is based heavily on that word Apolumi and the concept of the second death. The third is universal restoration, the view that God's love ultimately wins and all souls are eventually reconciled to Him. Held by early church fathers like Origen and Gregory of Nyssa, based on verses like Colossians 1:20, reconciling all things to Himself. The point is not to tell you which one is right. The point is that the Bible is far more complex, far more layered on this topic than what you were probably taught in Sunday school. And that complexity should make you humble and serious. So, why does any of this matter? It matters because it changes how you talk to people who don't believe. If your entire approach is believe or burn forever in fire, and the Bible's picture is more nuanced than that, you may be pushing people away from God with a caricature of His justice. It matters because it changes how you understand the character of God. A God who tortures people forever for finite sins committed in a finite life raises serious moral questions. Wrestling honestly with that is not doubt. That is theology. And it matters because of what stays the same across all three views. Hell, whatever it is the ultimate consequence of rejecting God. Jesus took it seriously enough to die to save people from it. That should make us take it seriously too. John 3:16 says, God so loved the world that He gave His only Son, that whoever believes in Him should not perish but have eternal life. Perish. Apolumi again, not suffer forever. Perish. The opposite of eternal life may simply be the absence of life itself, whatever hell is. God sent His Son to save you from it. That's the point. That's always been the point. The Bible's version of hell is not the medieval painting. It's not the Halloween costume. It's something far more serious and far more worthy of honest study. So here's my challenge to you. Don't settle for the Sunday school version of anything. Dig into the original languages. Read what the theologians actually argue. Wrestle with the hard texts. Because a faith that can't ask hard questions isn't faith. It's just inherited tradition. If this video opened something up for you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want to go deeper, I'm putting together a full breakdown of every single time Jesus mentions Gehenna and exactly what He said. Subscribe so you don't miss it.